Hey guys, it's Brooke. Welcome to Inside Renovation. Before we dive into today's episode, wanted to let you know really quick, Christmas Eve services are going to be at Gallatin High School. We have 3 of them this year, 8, 9:30, and 11. It is going to be such a special morning. We hope you can join us. And then next week for New Year's Eve, we are not going to be meeting in person, but we are going to be doing something very special, a special Inside Renovation podcast that you're going to be able to watch on Facebook and YouTube Sunday, December 31st. At 9 a.m. Let's get into today's episode. We're going to be chatting with PK all about Christmas, traditions, and so much more. Christmas time is here, PK.
Let's go. Santa Claus is coming to town.
I was just about to go
5
into
days.
like what Christmas, what's that Alvin the Chipmunk song where it's like Christmas time is here. Yes,
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. The ending, you got me. At first, I didn't know.
Like,
you didn't sound like Alvin at all in that little segment.
Chipmunking, a voiceover of Chipmunk is not in my spiritual gifts,
That's
so
good.
I apologize.
I always think about the movie Elf.
Yeah.
And I think about the bathroom scene where they're like singing, what's it called?
Baby, it's cold outside.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I really can't stay.
But I always sing the girl part. So I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway.
Okay, well, since
Christmas
you just
season.
brought up Elf,
Yeah.
I just had this conversation because obviously I'm a radio host with like listeners about their favorite Christmas movie.
Okay.
And some of these that people say, I'm like, why has nobody said Elf yet? And nobody has said Elf. Nobody said Elf.
Elf is like one of the top 3 for sure.
I feel like Home Alone.
Home Alone's up there. Home Alone 1 or 2 though.
Ooh, I feel like the original, dude.
I don't know.
I know. Everybody loves 2.
I know. I honestly think it's one of the only times ever that the second one's better than the first. For me, it is.
Yeah.
I think it is better.
I just
the
like,
Lost in New
just
York,
like,
dog.
You know, it's just
I know.
nostalgic.
I know. He's so little there though, and I don't know. The second one,
Did you just
they're
see
both
he
great.
just got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, Macaulay
Culkin's
That's
just
right.
out here, man.
Doing his thing still. Not
So
really.
crazy that I feel like movie is such a big part of people's lives. And I mean, I don't even remember the year it came out, but
Yeah.
like how far back that was.
Yeah.
But people still watch it to this
So
day.
Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie or not?
Yes, but no. You know what I mean? It is, but it's not.
I agree. That's unpopular opinion with most men. Most men are like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Do you guys, I mean, I know the boys are young
Yep.
right now, but do you guys have any like Christmas traditions with movies yet when it comes to
So
like in your household?
they love the Grinch, the cartoon one.
Love it.
I call it the Hood Grinch because it's kind of
It's
got
the
like
original,
a little.
yes.
It's got the hood side. No. I'm talking about the cartoon, not the. It's the one they recently made. You ain't seen that
Okay,
one?
no, I've seen that one.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about like
But like the
original
songs in it are kind of like hip hop rap songs,
Yeah.
and I love it. So that one, they really love that. Christmas tradition. We did the whole Elf on the Shelf thing, which by the way, I think we're like on day like what 7, 8, and the elves have moved twice. So like Tatum asked us, "Why did he not move?" And we're like, "They're tired."
Which
Like,
one of y'all touched him? The magic
So
gone.
yeah, so we have Bernard, which is Tatum's elf, and then I forgot like what Jessica named the other 2. It's something so dumb. Anyway, so we have 3 elves that live in our home and magically do things, I guess.
Isn't it funny? I feel like before I became a parent, I would look at that and be like, "That's so dumb."
Yeah.
But then like this year, I was like, "She's only 2, but I can't wait to do that for Emma."
Yeah,
she,
yeah.
She doesn't understand it,
I
but
know.
I'm like
It's
setting up these scenes.
It's the
and I'm
imagination thing. I'm not the guy. Like I know, like people get all weird with Santa and elves and all that. Like I'm not witchcrafty. Okay,
Yeah.
It's just the imagination component,
Yeah.
the fun component. I don't take it too seriously. Like, I don't like threaten my kids with things for Santa, but like, I don't know. I just think it's fun.
This time of year, I just feel like
Trying to make my kids like be normal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh, your pastor's kid that was told Santa wasn't real since you were a baby. Cool. Like, I don't know. Like, if you want to believe in Santa, believe in Santa. Whatever.
Right.
As long as you understand what it's really about and like,
Totally.
we're not worshiping Santa. Then whatever.
Well, and I feel like this time of year, it really is that joy aspect where it's like, if you did have a bad childhood when it comes to like the holidays, it's like where you really want to like change that for your
for
kids,
sure.
and you want to make it fun, and
Right.
you want it to be that time of year where they just like they can't wait for
Yeah,
it.
it's Christmas time. It needs to feel different. You know what I
Totally.
mean? But they need to understand what it's about and why and all that stuff. So
Well, you went there, so we'll continue to go there.
All right.
As a pastor, when it comes to, the holidays and things like
Yep.
that, what kind of things do you do for the boys or even just your family in general to really make sure that, as cliche as it is, but Jesus, is the reason for the season?
For sure. Well, I mean, naturally, we have it built in, like, as a church, Christmas time is, like, one of the biggest, weekends of the year. This year, it falls on Sunday morning. Well, Christmas Eve falls on Sunday morning. So we'll have 3 services and stuff like that. But, we'll read the Christmas story. We talk about Jesus. I think we do a cake. Like, it's Jesus' birthday.
Yes.
So Tatum's like, I want a chocolate cake. I want it to have angel wings. I want, like, the cake
awesome.
is very specific.
Yeah.
And we sing happy birthday to Jesus. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
great.
nothing, he's 5 and a 3-year-old and a newborn. So it's like nothing crazy, profound or anything like that. Of course, the normal stuff of like praying with your kids at night. And we do talk about what are we thankful for. One of the things we do every year is we do Operation Christmas Child as a family, which is a little bit, it's more like November when we have to actually turn everything in, but we like go shopping. So I took the boys shopping for, I was like, all right, what kids do you want to bless, right? Like God's blessed us, and so He blesses us so we can be a blessing to others.
Yeah.
So they both like picked kids their age, and we did both a boy and a girl. So we did like 4 total as a family, I think, this year. So that's always fun. So I take them to different places, and we buy gifts and that kind of stuff, and then we talk to them about what they want to get their friends, And so like we really try to instill that it's not just about receiving. Like this is a time of generosity and giving. And the greatest gift of all being Jesus, right? So, like, we just try to instill that in them. But we're very much, like, we have fun. Like, we've already taken them to see Ice.
At Gaylord?
At Gaylord.
Isn't
It's
that the
money,
coolest
though.
thing? Isn't it awesome?
It is the coolest thing, the Polar Express, which, by the way, that movie's so dang boring. Anyway, I got to say that out there.
You know what? I'm gonna say yes. That
it's
is
so
really,
boring.
it's so bad.
It's cool, but it's kind of like, and I might be wrong on this, but like I feel like it was like one of the first movies where like the animation thing was kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't look too cartoony, but the mouths and stuff, it's so weird looking. Bro.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Anyway, that movie's boring. It's super long. So anyway, I know I got there.
Tangent.
And I'm kind of salty towards Polar Express because like a couple of years ago during COVID, we tried to do a drive-in at Gallatin High School, ironically. And we were playing the Polar Express, and we think, this is going to be it. It's a drive-in, bro. Like, where else can you do this? We had like 4 food trucks. We had bonfire, s'mores. Like, we did the whole thing. Freaking rains. It's like the one thing you can do outside.
Yeah.
35 cars show up.
Man.
We dropped like $4,000 on it, and I was like, so the Polar Express just is salty with me. However,
Not a good one.
The ice thing at Gaylord is so dope.
Okay, listen, and if you're listening to this and you're like, what the heck are you talking about? Basically, it's like inside the Gaylord, it's 2 million pounds of ice. Yep. They basically go in and they have these huge ice blocks and they hand carve these things.
And the
they
guy's
dye
there.
them. Yes.
He was there. When I was there, he was there. Like carving other little things.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, you did this.
They have slides that are made of ice. You have to wear these big blue parka jackets.
That's right.
It's awesome. It's really cool.
It's cool. So we took them to that already. We typically always go into Opryland Hotel and see all the lights. They're charging for that now.
Yeah, you have to pay to get in.
Yeah, which we could have just done it that night, but our kids were kind of like, we're done. You know, we're ready to go home. So all of those are kind of our traditions of stuff we do as a family. And then the other thing is like, I'm really big on memories, experiences, and stuff like that. So even though it's after Christmas, we're taking like a Gatlinburg trip at the front of the year here in a couple weeks, and just to like get away as a family, make some memories, do some things fun where they remember it, because they're not going to remember their gifts.
Totally. Well, and that's just the thing.
We don't spend a lot of money on gifts, man. We just don't.
My husband, Andrew, and I, we've been talking about it a lot this year. Emma's 2.5.
Yeah.
She doesn't really understand.
Right.
She likes to color bluey coloring books. Like, you know what I mean? She doesn't need more toys.
Don't break the bank for a 2.5-year-old. No.
So we're like, what can we do that, like you said, experiences and like taking her to see things. Like she loves the Christmas lights. Right. So like every night after dinner, we get in Andrew's truck and we just roll through the neighborhood looking at Christmas lights. And some of these neighbors, I want to know what your power bill is, dog, because it's insane. I like look at these lights. Have you
been to the one on 109?
No.
You haven't been yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so don't go to the big one at the Wilson County Fair. You're going to sit for 3 hours in line. I'm sorry. I know it's the one everybody promotes, like, oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
It used to be in Nashville, but the one on 109, what's his name? It's literally on 109 Highway. Sorry if you don't live in the Lebanon, Gallatin area and you're watching.
You're like, what are you talking about?
Hope you got something dope like this too.
Yeah.
But it's a drive-through lighting thing. Santa's there, the Grinch is there. Frosty's there,
so cool.
Live animals.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's worth going. It's like $25 a car.
Oh, nice. Okay,
so
cool.
it's worth going for sure. And it's like traditional Christmas music playing.
Love that.
It's not like LED show.
Yeah.
like the dancing lights of Christmas has kind of become more of a show type thing. It's like traditional, old school, nostalgic, like choir stuff. And like, anyway,
I love that. There's this person in our neighborhood, and it's like the big LED thing. They got all their like windows
the shows
out.
and stuff.
Yes, and they've got these big Christmas trees, but then you like turn it onto a radio station dial, and it like plays to the music, and it's just like.
Those are cool too, though. Like, I'm not bad.
No, they're awesome. But like I said, like I just want to know what his light bill is at the end of the year, because I mean, he turns that thing on for like 4 hours a night, and I know that can't be cheap. Yeah. Like,
That's
man.
Right. That's right.
But I feel like this time of year too, it's like you said, it's full of joy. It's full of all of this stuff. But I feel like this is the time of the year too where you really can get those Scrooge people that kind of try to like insert. Maybe they don't like the holidays or things like that. Yeah. Do you have any people in your life each year where you think that sometimes you're like, I gotta try and inject the joy this year, because I feel like it gets
like the
tough.
people that walk into the room and the lights go off.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like they just drain it. I'm going to name them all right now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know, give me the question again. I want to make sure I'm not
just really kind of how you battle like Scrooges this time of year. Not necessarily a specific person.
You love the hell out of them.
Yeah. Literally though.
I think sometimes it's just like personality, right? And it's not that time of the year. Other times there's trauma involved with that. There's loss. There's the who's not around the table. So like you got to be sensitive to why, right? But then there's also just like negative Nancy's where it's like everything's a problem all the time.
Yeah.
I typically don't surround myself with a lot of people. So number one, like if that's you, I probably don't hang out with you a whole lot. You know what I mean? Just because I don't have a whole lot of free time anyway, and the last thing I want to do is spend it with negative people. I'm just being honest. But then there's like in your own family, or like family of family, or like, you know, in-laws of family, or Christmas parties that you go to friend groups with, and like everybody don't always like click. Do you know what I'm saying? So like it's just part of it. I don't know, man. I think you can. I think the biggest way you can really help like inject joy into people is everybody loves to be encouraged.
So true.
I mean, everybody loves to hear somebody say they're awesome. Yeah. Like, hey, you're awesome at this. So for me, when I find somebody like that, it's like I'm going to try to find a way to not let their negativity get into my blood, but I'm going to just like instill like, hey, you know what? Can I tell you something? I love this about you. And like you can see people like, oh, thank you.
It's so
you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
so true.
I think you can find a way to use your words to breathe life into somebody who uses their words to breathe death.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I'm like, hey, let's just speak positive things into them, into their life, focus on the good in their life, and then just call it out and say it and say it and say it. And if they start trying to be negative, like you can kind of like jokingly like, oh Lord, here you go again. And just kind of like play it off. I just don't give in to that. I avoid like, we're not fighting at Christmas time. I just don't like around the table. It's like if people want to, it's like, hey, come on, y'all, we're not talking about that, or remove yourself from the situation. Like, I don't engage in that. You know, it's like, well, why doesn't this happen more in your church? And it's like, hey, I'm not here to talk about that with you. You know what I mean? So anyway.
Well, and I love that you said that too, because I feel like really it is a choice this time of year, right? On whether or not you're going to be happy or whether or not you're going to kind of sulk in that stuff. So I don't think anybody is going to get mad at you for being like, hey man, I really like your shirt today. Or hey, like I love your hair. Or a compliment literally goes a long way. And I love that you said that, because I think that's an easy, tangible way that people can say, all right, well, let me try to inject a little joy today.
And I know that like, so let's also talk on the side of things where it's just one of those, you don't feel like you can have joy. Like I have a friend who lost a father, and this is going to be their first Christmas without a dad. Right. And so I think in moments like that, like I know with our family when we lost my brother and like, you know, my grandmother or my grandfather, like I think in those moments trying to figure out how to like recognize and not forget, to honor and not dishonor, and to focus on the good memories, not the bad. And like, I think sometimes telling stories though, you know, one of the things our family's done over time, and like I've been a part of different groups where they've done this, is just like telling stories and sharing those like funny memories. Like laughter is such good medicine for the soul. That's Bible, right? Yeah. So like that's in Proverbs. And so I think that finding a way to like focus in on some of those, and almost, even though you don't feel like laughing, even though you don't feel like joking around, it's not to minimize, but it's just to go, you know what? It's kind of that, like, and it's cliche, like if they were here, do they want me to act this way?
That's it.
Would they want me to be like, or they like, no, man, like enjoy the night, like honor them, have fun, tell fun stories about them, remember the positive memories about them. That doesn't mean suppress your feelings. It doesn't mean don't feel. It doesn't mean that you can't be sad. You know, like joy is more than a feeling. It's not just the feeling of happiness or the feeling of like, positivity. It goes deeper than that. And I do think that, to go there for a second, I think that there is a joy that you can only really find in Jesus.
Yeah.
And there's a joy that comes. And I talked about this, a couple weeks ago, or I guess 2 weeks ago, when the tragedy kind of hit and the tornadoes of like, right now we don't feel a lot of joy.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was devastating. We're at church on Sunday mornings. I don't really feel a whole lot of joy. However, I still have joy, not because of my circumstance or not because of what's happened, but because of who God is.
Yep.
And there's a joy there that like the world didn't give, therefore the world can't take away.
Right.
People didn't give it, people can't have it. They can't steal it from me. So like, I think sometimes we blame people or like, oh, the devil stole my joy. It's like, well, they didn't steal nothing. You gave it to them.
That's
because they
right,
didn't
yeah.
give it to you. So it's yours to have. It's just figuring out, how do I fix my eyes on things above, not on earthly things, like where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. How do I go, okay, I'm going to choose to focus in on who God is, what God's given, gratitude, like all of those things. And there's a joy that comes with that, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't ignore how I feel. I don't ignore when I'm sad. I don't ignore when I miss somebody who's no longer in my life. But then I think the way you start to really kind of find joy again is you try your best to not focus on what's not there, and you focus on who is there, what is there, what you do have. And I think you start going, okay, it kind of gets into that gratitude conversation. And then all of a sudden you find yourself like, okay, maybe life doesn't suck as bad as I'm making it out to be right now. And I don't really hate my kids and I don't really hate my whatever, and it's like, okay. And so I think sometimes though, it's very difficult, and that's why you need other people in your life.
Mm-hmm, that's so good. So good. And I love that you said, would so-and-so want me to be down in the dumps? Because I remember specifically, it wasn't around Christmas time, but I remember my grandma's funeral and like we're all crying and, we're feeling our emotions and stuff. And then one of us looked at each other and we'd be like, Nanny would be so ticked off that we're all crying right now, you know? And it's so true, because it's like, yes, they're gone, but they're not,
Sure.
Like,
that's right.
So I love that you said that, because truly, like, they want to be sitting on the couch next to you just as much as you do. So it's just like really trying
so it's like, it's okay. Feel sad.
Right.
Feel the loss. But then it's like, but let's not live there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and that's not, again, please don't hear this saying like I'm minimizing it or minimizing hurt or pain by any means. I just think, you do go like, I guess here's the question I would ask. How do I best honor this person? Mm-hmm. Like, so yes, feel your feelings, but go, how do I honor their life? Yeah. If you're dealing with loss, how do I honor their life? Is this how they would want me to, would they feel honored by this? Yeah. And maybe you do have somebody that's like, I just want you to be sad and miserable your whole life. I don't really know many people like that, right?
Yeah,
like they want, if they love you, they want you to be happy.
Totally.
And so I think you just ask okay, how do I honor them? Yeah. How do I still honor so-and-so this Christmas season? I think that's important. Yeah.
One of the ways that we honor my grandma is that she loved to make carrot cake, and she had this like recipe that my mom, I think it was last Christmas or the Christmas before, my mom had it like engraved on like little like paddle boards for us to like display in our kitchens. Cool. And like we just make Nanny's carrot cake.
There you go. That's a cool way to honor though. That's a great way to honor.
So if they have a great recipe, it's like, then they're still there,
Come on, Brooke. That's a good one.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's have a little bit of fun with Christmas stuff since we're talking about this season. Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Ooh. Christmas song,
like a Christmas carol, a song, something that you just like love this time of year.
I guess so.
Or do you hate Christmas music?
Take worship out of it.
Okay. Yes.
Because for me, like, and I'm not just saying that, like I'm like, yo, Christmas season. So like Elevation's "Here Comes Heaven" at Christmas season, just like
so good,
gets me every time. Yep. We're gonna do that on Christmas Eve, of course.
Can't wait.
But if you take like Christmas worship music out, and I know all of it's. If it's Christmas music, technically it's about Jesus and it's whatever. Anyway, I think Santa Baby.
That's it for you. Okay.
I think it is. Right. I think it's like now I also know people are now claiming that it's like, all like coercive and stuff, which is crap. But it's actually lyrically, it is kind of weird. It's kind of creepy. It is kind of creepy. But I just like the back and forth, like the smoothness, jazzy blues, sexiness feel of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I love that song too, because it's like, I feel like so many people can redo a song, right? But
Yeah.
I love that one's a duet, and it's
Yeah.
just like you get the two right people on it.
I
and
know.
you're like, it's so good.
100%. So like I
Yeah.
like it. Just feels like for me, it brings me to like date night with my wife
Yeah.
at Christmas time. It just you don't listen to that song any other time. Like it's just like
Right.
all right, now it's Christmas. You know what I'm
Totally.
saying?
Yeah,
like that's
for
the vibe.
sure.
What about you?
So I feel like every year I usually like gravitate towards a song that like everybody gets annoyed by.
Okay.
But like, dude, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas is it. Okay. Like,
Santa, tell me.
but this year specifically, Emma's my daughter too, by the way, for those
Yeah.
who don't know, but
Yeah.
she loves to sing.
Yeah.
It is incredible. Like
That's
this
awesome.
little 2.5-year-old can listen to a song and
Yeah.
she's like humming the tune like
There you go.
by
That's
the next
Tatum.
day,
That's
which is
Tatum.
crazy
Yep.
to me.
Tatum's
Yes.
same way.
So there was one night we were out driving around looking at Christmas lights
Yeah.
and I start singing Jingle Bells and like just, singing it, just having
Yeah, yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And then like we're watching a thing and she starts going, Jingle Bells. And I was just like, I love this song
Yeah.
so much. It's the cutest
That's
thing
awesome.
ever. So
That's
Jingle
great.
Bells is my song
That's
this
great.
year.
I kind of like the Mariah Carey vibe too, though. It's kind of like when Jessica and I, one of my favorite
Yeah.
things that now, I never was like a Scrooge, but Jessica is, it's Halloween. No one's coming to our house for Halloween. Let's decorate for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
For me, that's a little early. I used to be the like, wait till Thanksgiving's over.
Yeah.
And I've slowly like moved up.
Yep.
And part of the reason why is because it's so much daggone work and it's not enough reward for like 4 weeks of Christmas.
You got
So-
them 16 bins down.
yeah,
You're
dog.
like, let's just keep them down.
I can't. I'm just like, all right, babe, you tell me when. But the joy that Jess gets
Yeah.
at Christmas time, it's like, yo, like she's so fun to be around. Like she
That's
just is
awesome.
like the Christmas queen.
I love it.
And so like we'll cut on music, and it's like every time it's like it opens up with like Mariah Carey, right?
It's
like when we start decorating. So like putting on Christmas music, decorating together.
Yeah.
That's kind of become something like I really love and look forward to every
Yeah.
year. And so yeah.
Shout out to the Christmas Queen. We love you, Jess.
That's right. We
I
do
love
her.
that.
I think she's going to be on the next episode too.
I am very excited about it.
New Year's Eve.
Dude, I've got some hard-hitting questions for you guys on that episode.
All right. Next episode.
So just get ready for
Yeah,
it. all
back to
right?
Christmas though. We're not there yet. Not there yet.
Not there quite yet. But to kind of wrap up, just another little fun question.
'Kay.
Did you ask Santa for anything special this year for Christmas?
Okay.
Wait, let me guess.
All right.
Was it a new pair of shoes?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not, because that comes out of my own bank account. So if somebody else wants to buy me some J's
Okay,
that are $400, go for it.
Okay.
I'm not spending that money. I haven't yet. I really haven't. I haven't told Jess anything I want.
Wow.
I just don't want. This
Do you
sounds.
like the surprise?
I'm not a gifts person.
Okay.
She's a gifts person. So like I've had her gifts locked and loaded for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a gifts person. So for me, it's experiences. So we booked this trip with 2 other couples to Gatlinburg.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know it's for anniversary, but I booked it around Christmas time. So it already feels like Christmas and I'm
Right.
already having to pay for it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm taking her to Montana in April for our 11th anniversary.
Yeah.
So we're spending a week Monday to Friday in Montana. And I don't know, like I love watching her get excited. I love watching my boys get excited.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I got it like that. We're like, oh, if I want it, I'll buy it. Like that's not the thing. But I just don't like look around and go, oh yeah, I really want that. Like I don't know of anything. This year,
Right.
I'm like, I don't really know. What do
Well,
I want? Oh,
yeah.
okay, I got you. If somebody that's not coming from my bank account, like Santa Claus is bringing
you some new
yeah,
J's,
yeah.
you wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah. But what I really want is a hot tub.
Okay.
So I want a hot tub at my house. I would use it all the time.
Okay. Costco or Sam's Club, whatever one you
Yep.
like, they have those inflatable ones.
I
And I have a
know.
friend that has one and every year says it's the best thing ever.
I
And
know.
they're like $400.
I know. Well,
That's-
I actually
she
have
lives in a hot
access
tub.
to an inflatable one because it used to be her baptistry and now it just sits in the attic. So I could do that. But
Dude, get it
Yeah,
out.
but like I want a legit one. Like
Okay.
I want a legit
Okay.
one that, I don't know. I just, because those like it's like float material.
Yeah, totally.
And they're harder to keep clean and all
Yeah.
that. Like I want a legit hot tub. That's what I want. That's what, like for Christmas, your boy wants a hot tub.
Well, you
Or
waited too late to ask for it
second
this year.
thing. No,
so maybe
somebody
next.
can still. Maybe somebody's got to move and
Yeah.
they can't bring their hot tub with them, and it doesn't add value to your house, and you want to bless the pastor with a hot tub.
There
I'm
you
down
go.
as long
All
as
right.
it's in good shape and it works. I'm in, and it's not cracked and whatever. I'm in.
Yeah.
The other thing I want's a golf cart.
Okay.
We got Publix that came in by my house. We got a Mexican restaurant. We're about to have we have a gas station. We're about to have a Japanese place. And like we can walk, sidewalks connect. I love a golf cart. Do I want to pay for the golf cart? No way.
Absolutely not.
No, I don't want to pay $3,000 for a golf cart. However, somebody got a golf cart. You feeling generous?
Let's go.
You want to be Santa Claus?
Pass me the keys, baby.
That's right. All right. What's yours?
Oh gosh, I'm the same way though. I'm not really. I love giving gifts to people.
Yeah.
I don't like getting gifts.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm more of a like, if you want to get me something practical that I'm gonna use,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm like, people ask for my Christmas wish list, and I'm like, okay, these are the things that I use on a daily basis that I'm almost out of. So
Yeah.
if you could just replenish that.
I'm
that'd
kind
be
of that
great,
way. Yeah.
You know?
I've
I'm
asked for like pre-workout and protein before.
like,
Like it's super broke, but I'm like, it saves me money. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, makeup is expensive, like
Yeah.
hair products and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
these are the things that I use, and I know that like I'll appreciate that. But
Right.
then people don't like giving practical gifts. Like I remember
Yeah.
for my birthday, you know, Andrew's like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, we really need paper towels and toilet paper. Like if you could just go get Costco some packs of that, that'd be great. And I'd be happy. Like I love practical gifts,
That's
but
funny.
I really haven't really asked for anything this year.
I also want a boat too.
Throw it out there.
I said I had nothing I wanted, but now I've been kind of thinking about it. I kind of do got a couple things that I want. They're just expensive things, which is why I don't have them.
Yeah.
So
Well, real, what I want for Christmas this year is for my garage to be organized. So, Andrew, if you're watching this,
you're going to be watching it, bro. Don't lie.
Just
or
organize the
listening.
garage,
Or he'll be on
please.
Spotify at the gym. He organize the garage. You know what? It's funny about that. My wife probably will say the same thing. It's so hard to organize a garage. Especially with 3 boys. 2, though, we got all them little cars. You know what I'm saying?
everything's out there.
And it's just, every time I clean it, it's like a week later.
Yep.
It's like, they think it's clean. It's like, oh, dope. Let's mess it up.
Let's go play. Yeah.
And it's almost like I have to just like throw away half of what's in there to get it clean because it's just so much stuff acquires over the years.
Yep.
So that's probably something my wife would want me to do is clean the garage. That's something I could probably give her. That's like a, you know,
Acts
it's
of
a gift
service,
of,
man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
a gift of my time. Access service.
yeah. I love that. So
If I don't, by the next episode, clean the garage, you can call me out on it. You
All
can
right,
ask
well, I'll
Jess,
ask Jess.
because let's end it with this.
Okay.
Next episode is not going to fall on a Wednesday. It's going to fall on Sunday, which would be New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yep.
Yeah. And so we're going to show this on Sunday morning. It's going to be Jessica and I. We're going to talk about kind of ending one year, going into the next. And I think I got a word, and I think she's going to give some really good input too, of just maybe how to think about going about a new year. And I know everybody's like, oh, what they want to start and habits and all that. Like, we'll touch some of that.
Yeah.
But maybe just a different way of thinking about it. I'm excited about. It'll be premiering live on Facebook and on YouTube at 9 a.m. Christmas Eve morning. 9 a.m. Christmas Eve morning. It's our, we call a Sabbath Sunday. So we're not meeting in person.
New Year's Eve morning.
New Year's Eve morning.
You said Christmas Eve.
I'm sorry.
New Year's Eve morning.
New Year's Eve morning. Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We are having
We are
church.
having, yeah.
Let me also say that. 3 services, 8, 9:30, 11, Gallatin High School, Christmas Eve. Yo, it's going to be fire.
So excited about
We got
it.
baptisms happening too. Oh, we got candlelight, worship. I'm going to preach a little bit shorter. I'm supposed to at least.
I was like, is there going to be cake? I'm gonna ask your son.
I
if
don't
there's cake.
know if I don't know if there'll be cake. Actually, we are giving cake out. I do know that for a fact.
Okay.
I do know.
I can't wait.
It's there's a catch to that, but
Okay.
we're giving cake out that
Love
night. Yes, I'm really excited about Christmas this year. I love that Christmas Eve is falling on a Sunday morning, and I'm excited for the 3 services we'll have. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you live somewhat close to Gallatin, which is like 35 minutes northeast of Nashville,
Yeah.
you should come.
Worth the drive for sure.
We will be showing it and premiering it either that night or on Christmas Day. We haven't decided yet. It'll be available to watch, but it will not be live online that morning.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Merry Christmas, PK.
Merry Christmas. You too.